I had to confirm 3 times with that person, and he's like, yes, you need to pay this much. This is waived off. I don't have that kind of. And he's like, the offer is still open.
No bank is going to ever just call you and say that they're waiving 65% of your debt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, this is what I want you to understand, that this is nothing but a matter of your energetic field.
Before we started in 24, I had a lot of anxiety issues. I used to worry a lot. There's so much fear in me, especially around money. Shalini, when people lose their job, they kind of go bonkers. They like, you tend to panic. Nothing happened. I was so calm, and I said, okay, fine. I think this is a calling from the universe. It's not like, I had millions lying around so I can say, okay, fine, confidently go for my own
You
business.
didn't have that.
I didn't have that fallback, but I see it, And one thing I believe, Shalini, is when we make decisions and we take the inspired actions, support follows. You don't know where it's coming. You didn't expect it, but it's just there. First of all, I've become so much calmer. External pressures don't bother me anymore, and solutions are always there. So look for a solution, not a problem, and your life will become so much easier.
Hi, Leena. Welcome to my podcast. It's not really a podcast, but you're my first guest, and I'm very excited to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Shalini, for inviting me here, and honored to be the first guest.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I think I'm very excited to have you here because of all the work that you've been doing on yourself, and it's been phenomenal. So firstly, tell us about yourself. What do you do?
Okay. I'm a finance consultant, and I have my own business, Ascend Ledger Solutions and Consulting, whereby I guide individuals and businesses on their financial matters, and I also coach individuals and students for their accounts and finance.
Fantastic.
So yes, I have been tutoring students for O levels and A levels since 2022.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have your consultant, coach, your tutor, right, in one place.
Yes.
Ascend Ledger Solutions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Leena.
Yes.
So we've been working together since the year 2024, from what I recall. So tell me, what inspired you to join? What challenges were you going through at that time?
Like before we started in 24, I had a lot of anxiety issues. I was not calm, composed. I always had anxiety issues. I used to worry a lot. There's so much fear in me, especially around money or money matters, And yeah, and I know you did approach me in 22 or 23, and I turned it down. I wasn't ready for it, yeah. But yeah, 2024, I just made that quick decision to come on board. And from then, it's been a very beautiful journey, very transformative for me. Um, yeah, so thank you for mentoring me in this manner. It's been amazing.
Leena, you've been nothing less than a decision maker. So I want to congratulate you for choosing yourself, because there are people who are struggling, they're suffering, and you said that you're undergoing anxiety around money. There was a fear, there was lack of confidence, there was uncertainty, right? But the point here is that you decided to do something about it. And if you hadn't chosen that, we wouldn't be here.
No,
right?
you wouldn't.
Absolutely. So I want to congratulate you for choosing yourself, because I believe that a lot of people keep undergoing challenges, but they don't want to do anything about it.
Yes.
So the question is, what are you doing about it? And that's what I keep saying, right? And here we have Leena, who's actually decided to do something about it. So tell us, Leena, now, your transformations, right? There's so much that has happened since
A
we
lot,
met,
a lot.
and I believe that you're a completely different person.
Definitely.
And maybe you can tell us about your journey, from the time you came on board. What are the changes that,
Oh,
what are the wins, the transformations that you've undergone?
yeah. So when we started off with the Think and Grow Rich in
Yes.
2024.
Yeah.
So when we started, and the first decision I made was uh, my daughter's visit
Oh, I remember
after
that.
after 4.5
Yeah.
years. Yeah, and I didn't know at that time how things will happen because we were going through that little financial crunch. Yeah, but I just made the decision, and it happened, and she came. It was just for 10 days, but we met after 4.5 years, which was a golden moment for me. It was, you know, and around the same time, I attracted a new job. Yeah.
I remember, you
Yes.
just came on the group and you
Yes.
just announced it.
Yes.
So here's the thing about Leena. Every time something happens, she just comes and announces it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this has happened.
Yes.
Like, I get so excited because for me, it's about the work that you are doing, the work that you're putting in for yourself. I always tell people that it's one thing for me to facilitate this information, the knowledge, the sessions for you, and to give you all the resources. But the question is, what are you doing about it? So here we have Leena, who has, undergone so much transformation. So she actually made such a valuable moment a reality in her life. She just said that she had her daughter come down after 4.5 years. I don't think there's any value you can place against that kind of a memory, isn't it?
It's
So well done. I think
it's
that just makes
priceless.
my heart
Yes.
jump, as you, I feel like it's happening all over again, now that we're talking
Yeah.
about it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's like a new event
New
that's
event.
happening all over again. And I still remember the excitement on the group, when you shared it. And I was like, oh my God, we have to share this with everybody. Because how did it happen in such a short time? I think it was in 2 months,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So at the
Absolutely.
same time, yes, I attracted the new job.
Job. Yeah.
And little did I know that at that time, I mean, the new job is actually a stepping stone for my business, for my
Yes.
venture. Yeah. So that happened. And of course, then we went on to um, the science of getting rich, and then we did the power of awareness. I think
Yes.
when we were doing the power of awareness is when I actually lost my job. And Shalini, when people lose their job, they kind of go bonkers. They
Yeah.
like, you tend to panic. Nothing happened. I was so calm, and I said, okay, fine. So I took another decision, a quick one. I'm now looking for another job. This is I think this is a calling from the universe. Leena, you need to come out of your comfort zone now. And this is your chance to go for your own dreams, fight
Absolutely.
I mean, go live your dreams. You always wanted to have your own business. So yes, this was the time.
Thank
So
you for
I,
sharing.
yeah, I did.
Sorry, I'm just
Yes,
going to mention a few things. So that's the first thing, the transformation within how you responded to the situation.
yes,
That's a transformation in
that is,
itself
it
because,
is.
as you said, there are other people who just go into fear, anxiety, right, and
Yes,
uncertainty.
yes,
And here you are. You said that you are so calm,
yes,
right? So you actually utilize the information that you had been studying. So you are not just gathering knowledge; you are living the
I
information.
was.
And
Yes,
this is one point that I want to mention. It's very, very important because there's so much information that's flying around nowadays, right? And we tend to just gather all this information, but then do we use it? Do we apply it? It's in the application where you see the transformation and the results. And then you say that you made an immediate decision.
yes,
So I call that a quantum leap now, where you move just from losing your job into just going into your own business. Because
yes,
how many people really have the confidence to do that,
yeah.
right? So you had the faith. You why in the certainty that it's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes, so please
Yes.
carry on.
Yeah, and it's not like, I had millions lying around so I can say, okay, fine, confidently go for my own
Yeah, you didn't
business.
have
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
fallback, but I see it, and one thing I believe, Shalini, is when we make decisions and we take the inspired actions, support follows.
Absolutely.
Yeah, support is, it just comes from, you don't know where it's coming, you didn't expect it, but it's just there. Yeah, so that happened, and I started, and I started attracting clients quite quick, you know and actually it's a year now.
Absolutely.
It's been a year.
Congratulations.
It's been a year
Happy
since I, yeah,
anniversary.
thank you. It's been a year since I started my Ascend Ledger Solutions, and yeah, it's fun. It's I've attracted quite a number of clients, and it's still there. I mean, I'm still growing.
And I believe it's more about the freedom, isn't it?
It is.
Because I always tell people that what are we aiming for? We talk about earning more, and, I'm always talking about money in all my videos, but it's all about the freedom at the end. You know how you just made a decision to move from employment into business? That's a freedom in itself, the
In itself.
ability to make that decision. Because I feel like a lot of people are not able to make decisions, and that's where they lack the freedom. So it's all about giving yourself that permission. So here we have Leena who gave herself that permission, right? So are you giving yourself permission? That's the question that you need to ask yourself, right? As
Yeah.
you watch this video here,
Yes.
because Leena is here and the kind of freedom that she's experiencing, I think you can't really put a value to that,
No.
right?
No.
The
No.
clients, the money, that's an after effect, but it's how you experience life after you make certain decisions. I think that's where the real transformation is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And then last year, then I jumped onto the creator with you.
Yes.
I think that was the biggest moment for me because with the creator, I think we did some very deep work, inner work, right? So now this was a big moment where I've always wanted to have my own place. Yeah, to buy, I'll buy one day, but right now I'm renting it. But again, that was a decision I made. Literally, Shalini, I made that decision in 5 minutes. I want to
Did
move
you
out.
hear that? She made a decision in 5 minutes.
Yes.
I always tell people don't take more than 30 seconds. In fact, I've changed that to 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
No, I have really, because the minute you don't make a decision, your logic is taken over by your paradigm, right?
Yes.
Or your patterns in your energetic
Yes.
blueprint, and they control how life plays out. So here we have someone who actually moved houses. She got her own place simply because of a decision. And it's not that she had a lot of money lying around, but
No.
it's the decision that shifts the circumstances, people, and situations to favor your decision,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
You
And
just
support
said that.
followed.
Yeah, yeah, the support, absolutely,
Yeah, support followed.
absolutely.
And see how everything played out is I actually got a place which was 90% furnished.
So alignment.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like a walk in, walk out for me.
yeah.
I didn't have to
In fact, I
look for.
remember you telling us
Yes.
that on the classes, and
Yes.
I was like, what? How did all this just happen so
It's so
fast?
quick. So
Yeah,
quick. Yeah. But that was the decision. And then I
exactly.
took the inspired action.
Yes.
And then, of course,
And this is what I
the
say, that
support followed. Yes.
exactly, like a decision is never a decision until you take the action after it.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to tell yourself, I'll do it, but are you going to take any action towards it to lock down the decision, right? And then it becomes a
And
committed
then,
decision.
yes.
So, congratulations.
Thank
You've
you.
just been doing so well.
Such a
Your
wonderful.
story just excites me because you are living this information. It's not about how it's been taught to you. It's about what you've done with it. Because I've had so many people, right, on so many of my courses, but I think you are one person who's had multiple wins, multiple lips in a very short time. And how did that happen? because you're doing the work. So well done.
Yes, it's all inner work, yeah. I mean, external circumstances, external things are going to be there. We will be facing challenges, um, pressures, you know. But when we take a deep dive into ourselves
Yeah,
and work from inside out, that's, I think, when the real transformation happens. Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
And tell me something, Lena, if you don't mind sharing. Now we'll go a bit, we will continue with the other developments that you experienced, obviously. But what is inner work? What did it really mean to you in that sense? Because there's a lot of information going around about inner work, right? But what did it really mean for you? Maybe you can tell us a bit.
Uh, you see, um, before I actually embarked on my inner journey, I was um, I was controlled by external life, external world. Yeah, there was a lot of control. So anything small happens would trigger me. Yeah,
That's very powerful.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, it it was taking a toll on me. I was not able to forgive people. That was a big one as well. I wasn't able to forgive people easily. I mean, I wouldn't show it,
Yeah.
so people would feel okay. She's
She's
fine,
okay.
she's okay, she's moved on. But no, actual fact, I had not moved on. I was still holding back so much. So I think when we were doing the power of awareness, where they say, or was it the science of getting rich? I'm getting confused. Where they say creation is complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whatever we've desired, or whatever our desires are, they're all here. They exist. It's just that we cannot see with our naked eyes, right? But when can we see that? Is when we align our frequency to that frequency of that desire. Now, what happens is, over the years, we've had so much garbage that has been fed into us. Now, to remove that, you cannot just rely on external. You have to go in. You have to go within yourself and remove that garbage. So and there are many layers, huh? Many
Exactly.
layers inside. So as you release that, you start rising,
Leveling up.
leveling up.
Beautifully said.
So, um, so you then say my desire was to have my own place to
Yeah.
stay. So as I worked on myself and I aligned, so I was able to take that move, you know, go into my place. Um, and likewise, other, um, like I've always wanted to have my own business
Yes.
from many years.
Yeah.
During COVID, I didn't have a job. Yeah. And I think there should have been a good time for me to start building my own business, but I wasn't aligned. I was not aligned.
And I remember
So
you
yeah,
mentioning that it's not that you didn't have the money, right? Remember
yeah,
you mentioned that even at that time you could have moved into your own house,
yes.
but you didn't have the confidence to do that.
I didn't have the
Yeah, but
confidence.
now after working on those multiple layers,
Yes,
the resistance was released.
yes,
Because what those layers do is they create unconscious resistance,
yes,
right?
yes,
It's like people make so much effort, they work so hard, but they don't even know that there's inner resistance that's blocking them.
yes, yes,
So I believe that is what you were able to release.
yes.
And then it actually started aligning to an extent that you even got a place that was ready to just walk in and
Just
start.
walking.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
what are the chances, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all that is not a coincidence.
Yeah, yeah,
It isn't. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they're not miracles. You've cleared something, and that is why they're there for you to now. They become visible to you.
Absolutely. They
That's
come into your
into your
three-dimensional
yes,
reality. From your, you move from four-dimensional to three dimensions,
yes,
right?
yes,
Now tell me about, we were talking about, you mentioned that you've been able to attract some clients, right? Now, I remember you mentioned that there was a time when there were certain clients you were kind of following up with, but then they said they wouldn't want to work with you at that time. And then later they came back, right? And said
yes,
that they want to work with you.
yes.
How did that shift?
Um, Maybe it was my inner work because I went deep, and I think this all happened when we were doing the frequency clearings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
clearings and the
frequency
activations,
clearings
yeah.
have and the activations,
Yeah.
yes, have really, really helped me clear so much. So yes, they at that point they said no, and then they came back.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
because your energetic field shifted. See, the patterns in your energy field actually shifted.
shifted.
So the
Yes,
same people who are repelling you are now coming to you because you got rid of the resistance.
yes,
So this is what I keep telling people, that there's so much unconscious resistance in us, right? It's very simple. Just find a way to release them,
yes.
and life becomes so much easier. And I remember on one of the classes, they just came and said that I'm just relaxing and sitting back, and clients are just coming. I still
Yes.
have that video on my phone, by the
Wow.
way.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it because I
Yes.
do the recordings,
Yes.
right? And I was like, what? I mean, that doesn't even really, okay, now it's happening to me, but at that time, I don't think it was happening. So I was like, oh my God, I want to be like her. Yet I was the person
You
facilitating,
facilitating. Yes.
So that was just amazing. By the way, you've been so inspiring to me.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I must say,
Oh,
I'm very inspired by your outcomes, and I'm like, oh my God, can't I have results like Leena, right?
wow. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one was, where you now the big one, which I always like talking about, is your story of how the debt
Oh,
was,
yes.
yeah,
Well, that again happened when we were doing the frequency clearing.
yeah,
So, um, there was one clearing for the debt consciousness. Yeah. So I worked on it, and then I get a call from the bank, and they're like, you need to pay this much in 3 months, and this is waived off. And are you getting your figures right? I had to confirm 3 times with that person, and he's like, yes, you need to pay this much. This is waived off.
yeah.
And wow, and I'm like, wow, okay, I don't have that kind of. And he's like, the offer is still open. And
Imagine.
even now, the offer is still open.
Yeah, because I
He always
remember.
follows up with me.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned to me that there was a timeline behind it after
Yeah.
they did a 65% waiver. Is that
Yes,
correct,
yes,
right?
yes.
And then you said that you had to settle the rest in a certain timeline. Here you are saying now that it's
It's
open.
still open.
And
And
from a logical perspective, this does not happen.
it doesn't.
It doesn't, no bank is going to ever just call you and say that they're waiving 65% of your debt,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So this is what I want you to understand, that this is nothing but a matter of your energetic field. So Leena here was holding patterns of debt. And when we cleared it out, as she said in her onwards using the frequency clearings, she was called and said that, told that they're going to waive 65% of her debt. This is not a coincidence, and
No.
it's completely illogical,
Yes,
right?
it is. It is.
Absolutely. But
It
well
is.
done to you. This is, I mean, when you told us that, I think I had my mouth hanging open on the Zoom call. I still remember, and I was like, how does that just happen? And when I still talk about it in any of my master classes
Yes.
or whoever I'm talking to, and I'm just like this. I'm like, how does that
How
even
did
happen? I've not heard of
yes,
anything like this
it
happen.
it was. It was a
Yeah.
surprise to me as well.
Yeah.
And and then I just sat down and I just quietly told myself, okay, this has come through, and the payment will also come through. It will.
Absolutely.
It
Because
is
that
on
in
the way.
itself is an
So
alignment.
I just have to
Yeah.
align myself to that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, just the 65% being waived off
Yes.
reduces your burden to such a large
Of
extent.
course, imagine
Right?
during COVID times, they were not ready to waive off even the interest.
And here
And
it is
here
now.
now
Yeah.
they've completely waived off the 65%.
That's a big deal. Oh my God,
Yes.
well done.
Yes.
So tell us, Leena. So, first of all, thank you for sharing your story with us. This is such a powerful story. And I hope it inspires all of you to understand that you hold the power to shift your reality, right? You're not limited, you're an infinite being with so many powers. You just have to make a decision to work on yourself, right?
Yes.
So, tell us now, overall, after all these transformations and everything that the changes that you've experienced, how do you feel? How has your life changed? How do you live on a day-to-day basis, when you go about your days?
Um, First of all, I've become so much calmer, you know. Um, External pressures don't bother me anymore. Um, okay, some things happen. You went through the challenges. That's fine. It happens, and you will get the solution from it. You know. So what I believe is, after doing all this work, if you're looking for a problem, so many problems will come up.
I love that.
Yeah, but when you sit down and say, okay, this has come, this is a challenge, not a problem. Yeah. And solutions are always there. So look for a solution, not a problem. Yeah. And and your life will become so much easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It'll become so much easier.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I just want to say something on what Lena has just mentioned, that first of all, it's not a problem, it's a challenge, and there's always a solution. There's all these memes going around saying that the solution lies within you. What does that really mean? It means that you're subscribed to a certain energy pattern in your energetic field. So when you shift that pattern, you become solution oriented. So it's about targeting your energetic blueprint. We go externally to look for solutions, but they're within you, in the sense that you are subscribed to the wrong ideas at the moment, and that's why you are even facing the challenge in the first place. So when you unsubscribe to the wrong ideas and subscribe to the right ideas, then the solutions will just show up. In her case, how we've seen all the transformations that she's undergone. Clients that she was following up with are now coming to her without her having to chase them. Her debt being just waived off through just a phone call, right? How does that happen? It's a shift in the energetic blueprint.
Yes.
Thank you, Leena, so much for sharing your story with us. And what is that one message that you'd pass to the audience today when it comes to inner transformation, inner work, working inside out?
Working inside out is not like becoming spiritual or religious. I think there's a
Misconception.
misconception there.
Yeah,
Working inside in your is, first of all, believing in yourself, trusting in the process, you know and working deep down to clear. Like I said, we've got so much garbage. I mean, we need to release that garbage slowly, and it cannot it cannot just re- be released in a day. So it's a continuous work.
absolutely. And
Like,
it's not
if
at a mental level. That's
no,
another thing,
it's
right?
at a very deep
Yeah,
level.
it's
And
at a deep energetic level,
yes,
So most people think that, when I just say I've let go, this, you've let it go. No, it doesn't release
it's
that way,
yes, and
right?
it's
There's a
not
deeper
also at a
process.
subconscious level. Like
Yeah,
when we did this frequency clearings,
yeah,
and we started working at the blueprint
yeah,
level. I think that was the main thing.
absolutely.
So just imagine, like, if you have a jar, and then you've put there's so much muddy water, right? Even if you keep on putting the clean water, all the mud will not just. So it's a slow process. It will
Absolutely.
come out, but it will take time. So, but you have to keep. So, and imagine now you stop doing that. You stop putting the clean water.
Yes.
The mud will still remain.
Absolutely. Until you
So
don't throw the mud out,
yes,
right? Nothing
yes,
changes, because
nothing
the clean
changes.
water also gets colored up, it
Yes.
gets dirty.
So
And yeah,
it's a continuous
cleansing process.
cleansing process. So it's
Absolutely.
not like in the 2 years or the past 2.5 years, whatever I've done, and I've uh, transformed so much, it doesn't end here. It's a
Absolutely.
continuous, it's
It's
a
a
work in progress.
yes.
We have to
Yeah,
keep on
forever
doing
work
it.
in progress.
Yes.
Tell me one thing that has just come to my mind. Now, this is the last question that I'll ask you, Leena. How was this different for you from the other healings, let's say, that you've done in the past? How has this process of frequency clearings and activations been
The
different?
other healings were, yes, they were also helping me to clear,
Yeah,
but it was at a subconscious level,
yeah,
right? So yes, the clearing was there, but what we've done with the frequency clearing is done the clearing at the blueprint level. Now that, I think, has made all the difference.
fantastic.
Yes,
Thank you
it
for
has,
sharing.
because let me tell you something. It's not that my income has increased so much from when I was earning. Back then, I was getting a month to month salary. But at the end of the month, my literally my saving would literally be a few thousands. And I would wonder, where has all this gone?
Money gone.
And right now, it's showing. So my relation with money has changed.
Absolutely.
And that cannot happen just at a subconscious level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there was that fear of money that
The
has been
scarcity,
released, the scarcity,
struggle. I love talking about some of these patterns
Yes.
all the time because everyone's
all
going through
those
this.
patterns,
Yeah.
and then letting go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, letting go. So all that, I think, all those clearings have really, really assisted me.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Once again, congratulations, Leena,
Thank
for
you so
all
much.
the work that you have done. And I want to thank you again for sharing your story, because I believe this is such a powerful story that you've shared with people. And thank you for watching this video. As you saw, Leena was really struggling in her life, and through the transformation from her blueprint level is what actually drew the changes in her life. It changed her entire reality. So it's not the subconscious, it's not at a mental level, it's not at an intellectual level. So if you are somebody who's really looking to drive long-term shifts through your blueprint level, do subscribe to our channel, do get in touch with us, and we can help you do that.